Bonjour, Nathalie here. Welcome to FrancoFoods. Today, we're heading to the tropics, to the beautiful Caribbean island of Haiti. Caribbean cuisine is very aromatic, and Haiti is not an exception to this. So amongst all the fragrant choices, I decided to make Haitian Patties and Banan Peze, or more commonly known as fried plantains. The first step in making Haitian patties is to prepare the Haitian Base. This, it seems, is a flavor base that is commonly used in Haitian cuisine. To make, it's pretty simple. Just put all the ingredients in the blender, except for the olive oil, and I just add that at the end slowly as the ingredients are blending. While I make the base, I would like to say a very warm merci to Madame Bartlett's classes. This week, I virtually visited them in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. It was so much fun meeting you all. Enjoy your summer break. It's amazing how fresh and fragrant the base is. It smells so nice. I can't wait to see how the flavors are going to play together when I make the filling. So, as you can probably tell, the recipe for the base yields more than what I need. I only need a quarter cup for the patties. So I guess I'll be making some experiments with the base here in the next few days. Should be lots of fun. Now, time to make the filling for the Haitian patties. I'm making a ground beef filling. You can use other meats, and there's also vegetarian options. From what I found, the traditional filling is meat-based, so that's why I'm going with the ground beef. Recently, Haiti celebrated its Flag Day. Haiti was a French territory and declared its independence from France on January 1st, 1804. However, the flag of Haiti was sewn by a seamstress. Her name was Hatian Base, and she made the flag on May 18th, 1803. So they celebrate both Independence Day and Flag Day. For her role in, their independence, Catherine Flon, she's depicted on the 10 gourd note, which gourd is the Haitian currency. Oh wow, even uncooked, I can really get the aroma of the filling with all the fresh ingredients in there. This is promising to be quite tasty. I'm looking forward to this. So, the recipe for the filling calls for tomato paste. Well, when I was preparing everything and went to buy my ingredients, I was positive that I had tomato paste on hand, and I don't. So instead, I'm using crushed tomatoes. To thicken it a little bit, I put the measurement I needed in a sieve to let some of the excess liquid drain out before I use it. So, oh well, c'est la vie. So in Haiti, there are two official languages, Haitian Creole and French. However, Spanish and English are both widely spoken. I'm not really surprised that Spanish is used or spoken in Haiti, considering that Haiti is located on the island of Hispaniola, which is shared with the Dominican Republic. Also, even though French is an official language, only 5% of Haitians are fluent in French. That fact actually surprised me quite a bit. Haitian Creole is the most commonly used language. And here's an interesting fact. Haiti and Canada are the only sovereign nations in the American region to have French as an official language. So another pretty interesting fact, I think. Once the meat filling is cooked, it's time to roll out the dough. So this time, I decided to use frozen puff pastry. Honestly, I just didn't have the time to make my own. I'd run out of my homemade. And, well, there's nothing wrong with using this shortcut. I mean, why not? At the end of the day, all that matters is that the food is good. And I know from prior experience, it'll be quite good with the frozen puff pastry. I let the dough thaw in the fridge throughout a part of the day so that it would be pliable, but it would also still be cold. Because if you've watched the puff pastry video, you might remember that it's important for the dough to stay as cold as possible. Although Haiti's history dates from pre-Columbian times, like around 500 BC, we really only know about it since it was first mentioned in 1492 when Christopher Columbus, quote-unquote, discovered it. And actually, that is what started the European colonization of the Americas. The name Haiti is an indigenous word of the Tano language, and it means land of high mountains. Once I've rolled it out, each sheet is cut into 6 rectangles. Now, obviously, you can use a ruler if you want to be precise, but, I'm just going for it without. The technique for making these patties is kind of like making a meat turnover, but rectangular instead of the usual triangle that we would see. I'm trying not to overfill each of my rectangles so that it doesn't leak too much. From what I found out when I was looking up what to make, it seems that these patties are served usually as appetizers. However, tonight in my house, it's going to be our dinner. So I really hope that the boys find these filling. Okay, the meat is in, and now I have to seal the patties. So to do that, I'm just wetting my finger with some water, and I'm lightly dabbing on the edges. And I fold it over, I close it like an envelope, and I use a fork to crimp. You probably could just press down, but I really want to make sure that the seal is tight, so that's why I'm using the fork. Final step before baking, the egg wash. The egg wash, as you might already know, it helps to make the baked goods nice and golden. Okay, time for the oven. This week's vocab is une échalote, le vinaigre, le poivron, le persil, le mélangeur, préchauffé. While the patties are baking, I'm going to make the fried plantains or Banan Peze. Now, I've only had plantain once before, about 4 years ago when I was in Costa Rica. I loved it. It was delicious. I remember even asking our server, how they made them. But I just never dared to make it because it's just so different than anything I'd done before. Well, here I am. Time to try new things. So apparently, the best Banan Peze are made by using green under-ripened plantains. And, as I'm cutting the plantain, the color and the feel reminds me of squash. And as you can probably tell, it's not that easy to peel. I wonder if it's easier if they're more ripe. I have a feeling that it is, but oh well. Plantains are members of the banana family, so it's no coincidence that they look alike, right? But they're starchier and have a lower sugar content than bananas. If you compare them and they're similar size, there's definitely a bit of a color difference. I don't know if it's partially because my banana's ripe and the plantain is not, but the plantain is definitely more dense and heavy than the banana. I did find a variety of techniques and recipes for fried plantains, but since I'm focusing on Haiti today, I decided to follow a Haitian method, I guess you could say, to make the Banan Peze. I figured I can always try other ways another time. So first, you just cut the plantain into chunks and then you fry them. You wind up actually frying them twice. And it was the same thing in Costa Rica when I asked the server, same kind of thing. You fry them once and that basically cooks the plantain. Then you smash them or flatten it, and then you fry them a second time, and the second time you do that to make them crunchy. Actually, I find it actually reminds me the smell of French fries. Can't be bad. Okay, so to smash the plantain, I was looking around trying to figure out the best way to do this, right? And there is a special press that exists. It's a wooden press and looks like a little paddle that opens and closes, and you kind of put it between and smush it down. Well, I don't have that press, so I'm actually using 2 little breadboards that I have at home, and I think that's going to do a good job. You could probably use if you have a heavy bottomed glass that you can press down, or maybe even a plate on top of the other. If you have a flat bottom plate, you could probably use that, and I'm sure there's other ways too. Okay, some of these are a little tricky to smash. I'm not sure if I undercooked a little bit or it's just because some of them are thicker than others. Honestly, I'm really not sure if I'm doing this right, but some of them are definitely looking nicer than others. So, Banan Peze, or fried plantain, is one of those things that's found throughout the world, but known by a variety of names. So, for example, they are called patacotes in Colombia, but tostones in the neighboring country of Venezuela. Honestly, I really don't care what you call them. I just call them delish. Okay, the patties and the Banan Peze are ready. So, let's take a look. Okay, the patties are looking nice and lightly golden. Okay, now for the plantain. Well, I wasn't sure how to serve it, so according to my friend Olga, who is from Colombia, the best way to serve Banan Peze, or patacones as she calls them, is with a squeeze of lemon or lime juice and some salt. Oh yeah, this is pretty good if I do say so myself. Well, I feel as though the plate is missing a bit of color, so I have a lot of Haitian Base left, so I think I'm just going to mix that with a little bit of sour cream to make a dipping sauce. Actually, it's very fresh tasting, so yeah, not bad at all. Et voilà, a little taste of Haiti. Let me know if you give it a try. I would love to hear. Until next time, merci et à la prochaine!